You can build new businesses, new use cases that haven't been available before. Walrus is a platform. It is more than just storage because you really are monetizing data for the first time. This will be very widely adopted. It'll be seen as a standard.
Lovely to see you.
How are you?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Nice to see you.
I think we're going to do like a deep dive into Walrus, but before we do that, I think it'd be great if the Japanese audience knew about your background, even before like Web3, and what did you do, and how you got into Web3 in the first place.
Okay. So I studied a history degree at Edinburgh University, so very relevant. And then from there, I've worked in technology all my career. I've worked in technology agencies. So sort of started in project management, went into client management, then into running companies. And then the last company, the kind of last Web2 agency that we sold in 2016. And at that point, a bunch of my buddies from that place went and started up a couple of crypto companies.
Right.
They weren't crypto companies, they were actually kind of Web3 decentralized tech companies.
Right.
And asked me to join them.
Okay.
And I had FOMO that I was going to miss out on all the fun. So I jumped over and joined them. And George Denises, who's the chief scientist of Miston Labs, he was actually the co-founder of one of those projects. So that's how I knew him, and then he got in touch with me to see if I would be interested in coming over to Walrus.
Right.
And, how could you not?
I mean, but I guess you knew Sui from before. How was it like looking from the outside, obviously, and then joining, obviously, Walrus now 6 months in? Is there like any surprises you had working together with, obviously, very close to the Sui Foundation Miston Labs team?
I think, to be honest, it's everything you see from the outside and more. The rise of Sui has been extraordinary. Just only just 2 years. The 5 founders of Miston Labs they're very clever, very thoughtful, very driven human beings. They have very thought out approach to the new tech stack. And they are very committed to delivering that, and everybody that works at Miston and Sui and Walrus is also very committed. So it's a really energizing, exciting place to work. Everybody is very clever, they work incredibly hard, they're all on the same mission. They're very forgiving of things that might go wrong, and we all just keep running. No, I do sense like that enthusiasm and energy from Adene, Kostas, and obviously 100%. You. And there is like the long-term thought that this is not going to be like a short-term thing, and this is going to take maybe years to develop through. That's great. Maybe talk about Walrus, like in terms of like a brief introduction about it. And I think it'd be good to understand, I think, from the tech perspective, compared to like Filecoin and Arwe, there's like a lot of advancements in terms of technology. But what would you say is like the strength in comparison to something like a Web2 solution? Are you competing with an AWS per se, or is it just going to be like a per use case complementary? Like how do you pitch that to companies? Okay, Walrus is a platform. It is more than just storage. So within that platform, you have a very highly performant data storage element. You then have data availability. Because it's built in a decentralized way to sit on a blockchain, it is programmable. So all of the data blobs that live in Walrus, you can apply smart contract logic to them, and you can control the way they act. Obviously, a blockchain is a public, open system. So we've also developed technology called Seal, and what that actually does is it brings privacy to that data. So that's the real game changer in this platform. It allows you, the user, to completely control who has access, when access is granted, whether or not you charge for that access. So that's the real game changer. You can start to monetize your data.
Complete flexibility, I guess, in terms of,
And then we also have Nautilus, which is off-chain verified computation. So you can add that in as well, so you can guarantee that data has been computed in a
Yes.
way that you can trust, even if you can't see the details of it. So what that all wraps up to is a platform that you can build new businesses, new use cases that haven't been available before. And the way we talk about it is it's a data marketplace.
Yeah.
And especially we talk about it for the AI era, because not just specifically for AI, but AI is really informing everything that technology is
Yes.
doing at the moment.
Yes.
And so a tech stack needs to be able to respond to that. And we call it a data marketplace because you really are monetizing data for the first time in a very, very easy, seamless way.
Right.
And that data is owned by the user.
Right. I think going back to AI, because that's interesting, because Walrus, it's been 6 months, I guess, since mainnet, and you've had a lot of partnerships in terms of different kind of, AI and infrastructure, PUBG, Penguin, I mean, that was a big one.
Yep.
What do you think long term, is there like a focus you're narrowing it into in terms of like projects or niche? I know AI is one of them, but is there like a niche you're like, or a sector you're looking specifically at in terms of getting more, adoption in terms of Walrus? Yeah.
So it is a platform. Anyone can use
Yes,
it
right,
who
yeah.
has the needs
Yes.
that a decentralized platform will bring. The verticals that are really liking us at the moment are AI.
Yes, right.
So like a lot of the AI partners we have are storing models or the output of models on Walrus and then charging actually other AI agents to use those models. Content, media, entertainment.
Yes.
So big push in those industries, with the challenge that AI brings, to actually own and monetize data,
Yes, right.
to crowdsource, to crowdsource content as well, the funding for content.
Is there also going to like the business side of things, obviously very heavily integrated with Sui and Walrus. I know also Walrus is chain agnostic, i.e. you can collaborate with other chains like L1s, and I know you've done some with like L1 chains. Is there like a particular focus to like branch out so like more people come through Walrus into Sui, or is it just like you go case by case in terms of trying to forge partnerships, etc.?
We go case by case.
Yes.
There are certain types of businesses, partners that are very suited to Walrus. People that need really do need that reliability of uptime. They need to know that the data is really important to them. They can't lose it, and that data needs to be verified. So, a really good example of that is kind of an AI ChatGPT type model. When you use Walrus as storage for that, or as your data layer, you can guarantee that the source of data that model used is exactly what it said it was.
Right, yes, right.
So you know that it was when it was uploaded, whether it's been amended since it was uploaded, who uploaded it. So you have a lot of security there that you don't
verifiable.
have currently in the Web 2 world, and then it's also transparent. So we are seeing kind of people that may be more Web 2 responding to that, because you can't get that in AWS or other players.
Right. Yeah. Just going back to like data marketplace, I know this is going to be one of the pushes, I guess, in terms of Walrus as, the next narrative, so to say. What do you imagine in terms of like new use cases or new sectors that will like come in because of this new kind of use case, I guess, in terms of monetizable data assets, so to say? I mean, I guess there's a lot of emphasis obviously on AI, so there'll be a lot done in that sector, I assume. But
launching this platform, you've got various ways you can go.
Yes.
So there's lots of businesses that are very successful in a kind of centralized Web 2 way, Spotify, YouTube, messaging apps. All of those can be rebuilt in a decentralized way so that the user owns the data, controls access to it, and not the platform. We've got quite a few people already building those things.
Yes,
so,
right.
you know, like a YouTube, like a Substack, a Medium.
Which is very important, obviously, because I think,
really important. You can then, you know, do things like offer a tip jar, and because you sign into so much with a crypto wallet, you can easily sort of give tips.
Yes, right.
Cross-border as well, so you don't have those barriers. It allows for communities to be managed in a much more nuanced and seamless way. So everything we talked about in the kind of NFT boom, the kind of token gating promises of what community could bring with owning an NFT token, with Walrus and Seal, you can now deliver on that.
Right.
So you might know that I went to all away games for Manchester United, for example. Manchester United might then choose to drop an NFT into my wallet, which would give me a token for a free T-shirt at the game. Now, that is a very seamless way of someone like Manchester United or anyone with the community being able to, in very real time, support their community and give these sort of surprise and delight experiences while building out this huge data bank that even if they don't own, they absolutely have visibility to.
Right, thank you. I think the last question I have in terms of Walrus, I think there's still obviously like an image still that it is like the decentralized storage, because that's, I guess, what it kind of initially started off with, but it's very clear it's not just going to be that, and this is just the start of the building block. Do you have like an image of where you want to be with Walrus, say, you know, 1 or 2 years down the line in terms of what it should be perceived by other, like the, you know, the developers or the consumers in terms of what Walrus is?
Yes, I think there are a lot of, well, firstly in Web3, I think it's something like 10% of data in the Web3 world is on-chain. And about 90% is not on-chain.
Centralized.
It is centralized. And some of that is because there isn't a true need or desire perhaps for it to be decentralized. But really most of that seems to come from there not really being a solution that is fit for purpose. That's my conversations with the community. So this is fit for purpose, so it's really taking the decentralized ambitions of the Web3 world and making them a reality in a performant way that developers actually need to create money-making systems. And I think what we will see in 2 years, because we are moving very quickly, is this will be very widely adopted. It'll be seen as a standard, and I think we'll also be seeing the sort of hybrid Web 2, Web 3 businesses where it is appropriate, kind of living on Walrus, and probably not, their users, I wouldn't imagine, would even be aware that they were using a Web3 or a decentralized version. All of that would be hidden, and it would just work.
Seamlessly.
Seamlessly.
Okay. Rebecca, thanks for your time today.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Bye.